Hello everyone, and welcome to a gargantuan episode of In the Toy Box, the show where the toys are the stars.
Today we'll be discussing Godzilla toys and Godzilla films.
Awesome.
And with us, we have a Godzilla expert, Johnny.
Thank you.
Welcome, Johnny.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, so let's get started with let's talk about the very first film Godzilla was in.
The very first Godzilla was from 1954. It's shown here. It was directed by Ishiro Honda. And the first Godzilla is actually represented here by this Godzilla suit, the Shodai Goji suit.
Okay. And we have a few toys from that. This one is Bandai. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent figure. It's like kind of a light plastic. Mm-hmm. And then you have the more articulated one to the left of it from NECA.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool.
That's the suit from Mothra vs. Godzilla, which was a few sequels later. Yep.
So the suits are a little bit different, or are they pretty similar?
They're pretty similar. I think this one has 3 toes versus 4 in the original.
Okay, there's a difference there.
But this is my favorite suit of all the Godzillas because
Really?
I think he has such a evil look to him.
Yeah, it is a little more organic looking, a little menacing for sure. He has actual eyebrows that cover his his eyes.
Yeah,
That's my favorite toy out of all the Godzillas because of the articulation and everything, and even the mouth.
The
mouth moves
NECA one?
Yeah, the NECA
gotcha,
one. That's
gotcha.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you told me earlier too that this is like the original Japanese one, but then they kind of Americanized it, right?
That's right. So in the first Godzilla, it's kind of famous for being a little bit lost through history. The very first film actually got a lot of its praise from the international or the American version, which was produced 2 years later in 1956, where the editors or the Americans inserted an American actor Raymond Burr, into the film to the point that the critics actually thought he went to Japan to shoot.
Right.
And that was the version that actually kind of got Godzilla
Up and rolling.
And how he became famous, really.
Gotcha.
It wasn't this first version. But then years later, they did release this in the United States in 2004.
Oh, I'm sure it had a great release too, because there's so many fans of Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah.
So moving on, there's another generation over here, correct?
That's
we
right.
have here?
Yeah, so the Showa era is the first era of Godzilla, which started in 1954. That went till 1975
Okay.
with Terror of Mechagodzilla. Then they put the series on hiatus for about 9 years.
Wow.
They brought him back in The Return of Godzilla from 1984, and that started a whole new series of Godzilla films where they ignored the continuity from the first series, except for the first film.
Okay.
So this film is actually a direct sequel to the first movie.
Awesome.
And that spawned another series of films where they would have, Godzilla versus different monsters in different films, and that concluded in 1995.
And what's the difference between the appearance there?
So, in terms of appearance, it's more I would say this Godzilla, what's called the Heisei era Godzilla, that's the second series, is a little bulkier.
Okay.
He was much more brooding. As this first series went on, Godzilla became less buff, you could say, and a little more thin and athletic, where they kind of did a lot of Godzilla was leaping around and doing stunts.
Yep.
And so the Heisei era films, very much not like that, much more hand-to-hand, more heavy feeling combat.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yep.
Awesome. Wow. And then moving on, you have a different generation even beyond that. So this is 10 years after the last film.
That's
you
right.
get this.
Yep.
Now, how far in between the end of this era becomes this era, 2000?
It wasn't long, thanks to the 1998 Roland Emmerich embarrassment of a Godzilla film. They were going to end, so the Heisei era ended with the death of Godzilla in the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
And no one wants that?
And they were going to basically hand the keys to the Americans to Hollywood to do your thing for a while. But because 1998's Godzilla was so bad, they said we gotta fix this.
Yep.
People want the real Godzilla, so they brought Godzilla back in 1999. Only 4 years after Destroyer, the Heisei era ended, with Godzilla 2000 Millennium, which is what this Godzilla is here. As you can see, it's a pretty big redesign of the character. These massive purple dorsal fins.
Yep.
And then that series was called the Millennium series. It was kind of experimental in a way because every film in that series is almost another reboot
Okay.
And they kind of kept restarting it. They're almost all standalones.
Got you. Yeah.
And that went to 2004 with the 50th anniversary Godzilla Final Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can definitely see a lot of the features are different on this Godzilla comparative to these two. These two look a little more similar. That generation looks a little more, I guess, dinosaur-like.
Yeah, definitely the snout. It's and this was only in the first two of that era. After this, they changed them even more.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And now moving on, we actually have the newest iteration, right?
Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's something before that too, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, which one? That's the newest, the Godzilla and Kong, right?
Yeah,
But then before that was that other one.
Godzilla -1.
That one was good.
Very
I
good.
watched that. I really enjoyed that film.
Excellent. But there's one good thing from the movie. You got the toys.
That's true.
That's true.
That
Always
is
got
very
the
true.
toys.
Well, who makes this?
Playmates.
Very articulate
Yeah.
and just a heavy plastic toy, really cool looking. And what about the one in front there?
So that's a Bandai figure
Bandai.
from representing the Godzilla and Godzilla -1.
Right. That one's just got more articulation, really.
Yeah. It kind of sacrifices detail for articulation, I would say.
Yeah. Well, there's a huge history of Godzilla. There's so much more to learn. And stay tuned and you will be learning it.
Time for time for Toykusatsu trivia, featuring Matt versus Kevin, with help from Godzilla superfan cameraman Dan. Round 1.
Thank you, and welcome to Toy Kusatsu Trivia, where our fine Toy Box hosts, Matt and Kevin, will be quizzed on all things tokusatsu, or Japanese special effects films. So for round 1, these will be multiple choice questions directed at each of you. You can either answer outright for 2 points, or you can choose to take the multiple choice, which will be only for 1 point.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's get started. First question to you, Matt. What monster was Godzilla's first opponent?
I'll go with the multiple choice.
A. Mothra, B. King Kong, C. Anguirus, or D. Bagon?
I'm gonna go with Mothra.
I'm afraid that's incorrect. Kevin, who directed the first Godzilla movie?
That's gonna have to be a multiple choice, definitely.
A. Jun Fukuda, B. Akira Kurosawa, C. Ishiro Honda, or D. Terry Morse?
Can I hear B again?
B was Akira Kurosawa.
That's it, definitely.
Folks, I'm afraid not.
No!
I'm afraid the answer was Ishiro Honda. There actually were kind of 2 right answers to that one. You could have said Terry Morse. Technically, he did the American
Oh
version.
my Lanta. I knew it was the third one, but I want to be even with Matt.
In the 1984 film The Return of Godzilla, in what is an embarrassing plot device, Godzilla blindly follows Earth's magnetic field, similar to birds migrating. The human characters use this to their advantage to trick Godzilla into falling into what in the film's climax?
Multiple choice.
A. A volcano, B. A pool of acid, C. A giant net, or D. The ocean?
Volcano.
Correct! Matt, you're on the board with 1 point.
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you.
Kevin?
Yes?
In Shin Godzilla, after Godzilla is frozen in the film's climax, static mutated Godzilla human hybrids are seen detaching themselves from what part of Godzilla's body in the chilling final shot of the film?
I would also like a multiple choice here.
Are you sure? Because there really are only several
Body parts
on Godzilla. I would say that could be a risk you could take. You could take this risk. You still want to do the multiple choice?
Yeah.
Okay. A, Godzilla's eyeball. B, his dorsal fins. C, his ears. Or D, his tail?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with the dorsal fins, please.
I'm afraid that's incorrect.
Jeez.
All right, Matt. Question number 3. In the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, during the World War II sequence, there is a brief scene with 2 American Navy officers discussing a UFO. In a tongue-in-cheek cameo, one of these characters is revealed to be the father of what famous American science fiction film director?
This is an easy one.
I'd like to call on Dan.
Okay, we have our first call in Dan.
I believe that was Steven Spielberg.
Correct! That was for 2 points.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I knew that one.
Did you really?
No.
Kevin, last question for you.
Okay.
What director was banned from making Godzilla movies for life after his first attempt, Godzilla vs. Hedorah.
I might need Dan's help if he can step in on this one.
All right, Dan, you're being called upon once again.
Help me out, Dan.
Can I ask for a multiple choice?
A. Yoshimitsu Banno.
That's it.
That's correct.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Kevin, you have 1 point now.
Yes.
And that concludes round 1 of Toykusatsu Trivia. We'll be back in a short moment.
These 4-inch Super 7 Mechagodzilla figures are from the Godzilla Blind Box collection and come in various colors. This Super 7 Shogun Mechagodzilla stands 18 inches tall, featuring movable head, arms, and roller skate wheels on the bottom of each foot, and firing rockets. Super 7 Cyborg Mechagodzilla is a 12-inch, highly detailed figure with movable arms, head, and mouth. A door opens at the center of his chest to reveal a missile launcher. The chest piece is removable to reveal the inner robotics. Panels are also removable from the legs and the arms. This highly detailed Mechagodzilla is an exceptional toy. Well done, Super 7.
Over his 70-year history, Godzilla has frequently been portrayed through the special effect technique suitmation, where an actor performs inside a heavy rubber suit. The suit performers often would study animal movements and forego intense tests of physical strength and stamina to play the roles. There have been many Godzilla suits over the years, exuding different personalities, so let's take a look at just a few highlights, of course through the lens of the many toys. The Shodai Goji suit was created for the original 1954 film. The first Godzilla suit features distinct ears and eyebrows, and a charcoal skin color, despite promotional art traditionally drawing him in green. This Godzilla, portrayed by actor Haruo Nakajima, embodies the atomic devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the firebombings of Tokyo during World War II. He leaves nothing but destruction in his path. The Soshin Geki Goji suit defines classic Showa-era Godzilla. Portrayed again by Nakajima, this Godzilla is played heroic, frequently saving the Earth from evil alien monsters like King Ghidorah, Hedorah, and Gigan. Now this particular figure looks like it belongs in a dentist's office with these comically thick bright pink gums. This collectible here from Mezco does a much better job showing the suit's likeness. The Desu Goji suit, frequently called Burning Godzilla, represents the character as he appeared in the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destroya, in which Godzilla is dying. Performed by Kenpachiro Satsuma, this is probably Satsuma's most emotional performance in the suit. This 2002 Bandai figure shows off Godzilla's scorched flesh, which pulses bright red in the movie, results of the monster's internal nuclear meltdown. After the embarrassing 1998 American Godzilla film, Toho revived Godzilla with Godzilla 2000 Millennium, completely redesigning the character. The Mide Goji suit's notable features include these massive purple dorsal fins, which required performer Tsutomu Kitagawa to actually lean forward in the suit in order to maintain his balance. And he also defies gravity at one point with this body slam move he performs. After the release of Godzilla Final Wars in 2004, Toho stopped using suitmation to represent the character in feature-length projects, so Godzilla's been either animated or CGI ever since. But the meticulous designs of the suits and the efforts of the performers inside will always be a proud part of Godzilla's history.
Welcome back, and now we are talking about all the other monsters involved in the Godzilla films and beyond. So Johnny, we have quite a few monsters here.
The monster designs have changed a lot throughout the years.
Yeah.
In the early films, they were more just...
Simple.
Yeah, a little simpler, a little more organic creatures.
Yes.
Like you had Anguirus here, who looks just like a dinosaur.
Correct.
And this is from the first sequel to Godzilla, Godzilla Raids Again. Rodan looks more like a pterodactyl. So they had like almost dinosaur inspirations at first.
Yep.
And then you get into crazier designs like Gigan and Hedorah in the 70s.
Yes.
And then in the 90s, you've got sort of, I don't know if they're kind of a mix. They're still a bit out there,
Yep.
but they're a little more, I don't know, like Destroya here.
Yep.
Kind of looks like a devil monster.
It's definitely more imaginative, I would say.
Sure,
You know,
yeah,
you get
absolutely.
this kind of like a basic, like you're saying, like a dinosaur. Then once you get 30 years or so
Yep.
later,
Yep.
you've got these kind of really imaginated creatures. Imaginated is probably not a word, but you know.
You imagined it.
I did. Yeah. So do you have a favorite monster out of any of these?
So my favorite monster is probably Gigan here.
Yep.
I really like this figure in general. It's the design from Godzilla Final Wars in 2004.
Okay.
Gigan is supposed to be a cyborg monster, and I think this design really brings that out.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a big missed opportunity, in my opinion, for this toy because at one point in the film, Gigan gets an upgrade and actually has chainsaws instead of his hooks on his hands.
In the movie?
Yes.
I haven't seen this. What the heck?
It's awesome. The film was 2004.
2004.
Yep.
So when I'm looking at this, I actually see a little Geiger-inspired, almost alien-like,
Sure.
skin, if you will.
Yep.
So it looks like there's some organic components to this guy, and then also robotic, like with all the kind of silver attachments, crazy
right.
flail for a tail.
Who makes
Definitely.
that?
This must be a Bandai, right?
Bandai?
It's a Bandai figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think out of all of them, what's this guy's name we hear? This kind of blob?
So this blob
Hedorah?
is Hedorah. That's right. Hedorah.
Okay.
You can call it that too.
Kind of looks like he's made out of, I don't know, slime and trash and got a bubbly head and two eyes. I love that. It's just,
He looks like he's got problems.
nothing good's happening with this guy. Definitely not.
My favorite is Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm into the whole robot thing, so yeah.
Yeah, is he strictly just a robot?
So it depends on the version, right?
Right.
As with most
Yeah.
things in Godzilla, right? So
Okay.
the first Mechagodzilla was from the 70s, and that was an alien creation. Yes, that was strictly a robot.
Yeah.
The figure here is from 2002's Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which is known as Kuryu. That's what the actual robot is called.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of like Gigan, a bit of a cyborg. They actually used the original bones of the first Godzilla
Right.
and created a robotic exoskeleton around that to create this. So
As
it's
you
almost
want
more
to do.
cybernetic.
Yeah.
And then we also have basically a cousin to Godzilla. It's Godzilla adjacent. It's not exactly included in the films, right?
That's right.
Gamera or Gamera.
Yeah.
So he's a gigantic turtle, it seems, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
And you were saying it's kind of a different company that produced those films, right?
That's
Does
right.
it seem like an answer to kind of
Yep.
Godzilla?
So Gamera is created by the studio Daiei, kind of a rival film studio to Toho Pictures or Toho Company Limited, which makes the Godzilla films. So think, if you're familiar with comic books, Batman is DC and Spider-Man is Marvel. It's similar to that. Godzilla's Toho, Gamera is Daiei, and it was created, yes, as kind of a response. Daiei wanted their own version of Godzilla,
Right.
so they made a giant turtle.
Usually he is the hero,
Yes.
except for in the very first film he was the villain. Well,
Yeah.
they're probably just trying him out at that point. Like, let's see what he does.
Yeah, he kind of wanders around aimlessly and
Yeah.
doing this with his arms.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think he works better as a silly hero or a serious hero.
I like
Yeah.
him as a hero. He's
Yeah.
cool.
And what
Yeah.
kind of figure is that, Matt?
That's by Metacom, Real Action Heroes.
Yep.
And that's the Combat Joe version.
Right.
Yeah, the
so
rubber
it's like
suit.
a guy inside of there, actually
Yeah.
inside of that. It's a really
Right.
cool looking figure. Well, stay tuned. Plenty more Godzilla and more coming your way.
It's time for Toy Kusatsu Trivia Buzzin' Round. Guess the monster. Ooh.
And welcome back. Toy Kusatsu Trivia Round 2. This will be the Guess the Monster round. And these are all framed as Who Am I questions. I am one of the few monsters to have beaten Godzilla in his own movie. The people of Infant Island worship me. Matt?
King Ghidorah?
I'm afraid that's incorrect. Would you like to steal, Kevin?
Can you continue with the line of questioning first, or no?
Yeah, I'll read the rest of it.
Okay.
So the people of Infant Island worship me, and sometimes my twin, depending on who came out of the egg.
Is it Mothra?
Correct!
Whoa! Look at me go.
2 points, which means you're now tied with Matt with 3 points total.
All right, Matt. May the best man win.
Sure.
Question number 2. My name roughly translates to Sludgezilla. Kevin.
Hedera.
Correct! Matt, you're falling behind.
By 1 or 2.
2. He's 2
wow.
points behind. You need this. Okay.
Pressure's on.
Question number 3. I'm one of only 4 monsters to appear in every era of Godzilla. I've been described as both cosmic and bionic, although that last one got hit with a lawsuit. Matt.
Mechagodzilla?
Correct! We have
job.
a dead tie here at 5 points.
Good job, Matt.
Thank you.
I've been an alien, a guardian monster, and an interdimensional being worshipped by religious weirdos. Kevin.
Who is Space Godzilla?
Incorrect. Matt, you can steal. Shall I continue the question?
Sure.
Gigan is my only friend, although even he couldn't help me defeat Godzilla in 1972 or 2004. If you're still struggling, then here's a word of advice I give myself before every battle. Just use your heads. Who am I?
Just use your head. Angerus? No. Is it?
Use your heads, Matthew. Heads.
Heads. I thought I just heard head. I just heard one head.
So, unfortunately, that was King Ghidorah.
It was King Ghidorah, yes. So I'm afraid that was incorrect now. But hey, we still have a dead even tie here, folks, at 5 apiece. Someone's got to win this game.
It's true.
We have one more question to go.
Okay.
And we are
Listen closely.
deadlocked at a tie.
Listen closely.
Okay. I was one of the best-selling monster toys in the 70s, which makes sense. I was in both movies and TV shows at the time. Yep, whether it's my battle with Godzilla at the World Children's Land. Matt.
I'm going to say Rodan on this one.
I'm afraid that's also incorrect.
Wow.
Kevin, you have a chance to steal here.
Okay.
Whether it's my battle with Godzilla at the World's Children's Land or my battle with Mothra in front of a desecrated Tokyo Tower, I keep my audiences hooked. Who am I?
Very interesting here.
It is very interesting.
You're keeping your audience hooked. I'm gonna have to go with Gigan.
Correct! Yes! And that concludes Toykusatsu Trivia, with our winner being host Kevin. Thank you very much for playing and for having me on the show. I really appreciate this.
Glad to be on. I'll share the prize with you, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
I'm afraid there's no prize.
Oh.
Take care, everybody. This has been Toykusatsu Trivia.
Welcome to a segment we call Current Toy Review. We're reviewing today by Super 7, it's Godzilla blind boxes. Now this series has been out for like a couple of years, and they sold these figures previously on cards, but now you can get them in blind boxes. And what does that mean? It means it's a mystery box. There you can collect one of the 5 figures in the series, but you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
And that to me is the thrill of it.
It is pretty fun. So you have one here. This is the first one they came out with, correct?
Very first.
And you get couple different Godzillas. Looks like 2 different Jet Jaguar figures, and then a Mecha Godzilla. The second series is all Godzillas from the Shogun Warrior set.
So that's series 1 of the Shogun figures, and then
Okay.
we have series 2 of the Shogun series.
Yep.
So we actually have 4 separate series of just Godzilla, but it's not just Godzilla figures, it's Godzilla and characters related to Godzilla. Could be
And
other
friends.
monsters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Like you got Gigan, Manila.
That's right, Manila.
Yeah.
Not Baby Godzilla. I made that mistake earlier.
Nope.
But as you can see, like with the color schemes, they like to play with everything. Like to have Godzilla green, Godzilla black and white, glitter Godzilla, everything
Right.
you can think of, they kind of do, with the characters.
Yeah, it's crazy how they've come up with so many different waves, and they really have done quite a bit in the way of making them different, it seems like. Yeah.
It's a cool character. I mean, they're cool figures. The arms move, the legs slightly move. The heads, same thing. Some movement, some of them turn. I think the Shogun figures, very little movement on the heads, but they also have the flame, the tongue that you can push forward and the flame
I
comes
love
out.
that feature. That's
And
an
that's
awesome feature.
reminiscent of the Shogun Warrior Godzilla from the 70s.
Right. The only thing it's missing is the firing fist, right?
Yes.
That's what it would have if it were the actual big Shogun Warrior.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's get into some review action here, Matthew. Tell me what you feel. Like, how do you feel about these figures if you had to rate them?
Well, and our rating, as we know, is 5 toy boxes, 5 being the best, 1 being the lowest, not so good. So the figures themselves, I like. I think they're really cool, just like a Star Wars figure.
Yep.
They have enough detail. Star Wars figures, the same thing, don't have much movement, and you don't need great movement on this.
Okay.
I think the box design is really cool.
Yep.
The only drawback I have and it's with the boxes, is that when you open up one of these boxes, it's glued.
The resaleability.
So you're
not
tearing
there.
something that is a collectible. So my thing is on this, why didn't they just put a flap? You could have put a flap on the top and the bottom easily, and of course you could tape it,
Yeah.
cut the seal, and then open it, but re-close it with
I getcha.
flaps.
Okay.
As a collectible, now you got this thing, and it's just kind of. So I like the toy, and I
Okay.
like the whole thrill of it, the mystery behind it. So I would give it 4 toy boxes out of 5,
4 out of 5.
just because of that feature.
Johnny, on to you. What do you think?
Sure. Well, you said variety is the name of the game. There's a lot of different, not only different versions of Godzilla here, with wildly different variations of the design, including these glitter ones, which I think look like a baby's toy, frankly. And you also have. But what I like that there's some sort of unique monsters you don't see very often, like Manila,
Right.
like Baragon here, who's only
Yep.
in I think 2 Godzilla films.
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't like the Shogun Warriors design at all. And folks, you probably saw me reacting to you guys. What was it? The firing fists?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Godzilla doesn't ever fire his fist. But I get it's a reference to that very classic figure. I know it hits home for you. You know. So
Yeah. It's the toy.
So great variety. I agree with you on the boxes. So for me, it's going to be a mixed review. I'm going to go 3 toy boxes out of 5 here.
Okay.
3 toy boxes out of 5. Okay. Personally, I'm going to rate it higher. I'm going to give it the 5 out of 5. And the reason being is the variety. The box doesn't matter too much to me. I understand what they're trying to do there. They're probably trying to make it so nobody in the store can easily open it and crack one open.
Right.
You know? So they had to do that, in my opinion. Okay? I love the Shogun Warrior Godzilla. I just love that it's a different, very kind of dumbed down, if you will, look of Godzilla.
It's dumb, all right.
Sorry, what? But it does what it needs to do. It gets the point across. It's Godzilla. My favorite is this flamed one. Beautiful, beautiful. So, small toy, just so much variety. I think it's great. Yeah.
One's a god, one's a king. Who's more powerful? You decide.